If your cat shows up at your plate every single day, it's not really about the food. It's about something underneath it. And we're going to unpack that piece by piece, starting right now. It happens the second your fork touches the plate. Not before, not after, that exact second. He doesn't sniff the air first. He doesn't meow. He's just already there, sitting perfectly still, staring at your hand like he's been counting down to it. Have you ever stopped to notice how precise that timing actually is? You probably think he just loves your cooking, or he's spoiled, or it's some old habit that stuck around from a kitten who begged once and never stopped. It's none of that. What's actually going on is a lot stranger than hunger, and once you see it, you won't watch dinner time the same way again. There are 6 things hiding behind that stare, and every one of them is worth knowing on its own, not just the last one. Let's start with the one almost no owner ever catches. 1. The stare was never about the food. It's about a timing he memorized down to the second. Try this tomorrow. Put the exact same food in his own bowl the moment you sit down for dinner. Watch what happens. He won't touch it. He'll still be watching you. Have you ever wondered why identical food, 3 feet away, doesn't interest him at that exact moment, but a bite off your fork does? That's not pickiness. That's not about taste at all. He's not locked onto the food. He's locked onto the sequence. Your chair scraping back, your fork lifting, the particular way your hand moves right before something good happens. Cats are remarkably fast at building this kind of cue and reward map, tying a reward not to a smell, but to a whole chain of tiny signals that, to him, always come right before the good part. So what to do instead isn't hiding the food better. It's breaking the sequence somewhere before the stare even starts. A toy, a task, anything that happens at that exact moment instead of the usual routine. And there's more to that stare than just timing. What you do the moment he locks eyes on you teaches him something new every time. And that's exactly where we're headed next. 2. Every time you give in, you're teaching him the rules of a negotiation. Picture this. He cries. You ignore it for a while. He cries louder, maybe hooks a paw onto your leg. And eventually you break and slide him a bite just to get 5 quiet minutes. He's not being dramatic in that moment. He's not being difficult either. He's testing a system that has worked before. And you just confirmed one more time that it still works. This is where a lot of owners feel a flicker of guilt, and honestly, there's no need for that. You didn't raise a manipulative cat. You raised a smart one in a system you built together without meaning to. What to do instead is simple, even if it isn't always easy. Stop the reward exactly where the escalation starts, not after it. The moment you feed the crying instead of the calm, you've told him which one gets results. If this is already making you rethink what happens at dinner time, go ahead and hit like and subscribe, because we're only getting started, and the next few things change how you'll see this completely. 3. Not every bite from your plate is actually safe for him. Here's a fact most cat owners don't know. Plain, fully cooked meat, like chicken or turkey, with nothing added, is actually close to what a cat's body is built to run on. No bones, no salt, no butter, no seasoning, just the meat itself, cooled and torn into small pieces. But the danger usually isn't the meat. It's what's cooked with it. Onion and garlic, even in small cooked amounts left behind in a pan, are genuinely harmful to cats. They affect red blood cells. And that's not an old wives' tale. It's well established in veterinary care. The same goes for raw eggs specifically, since raw egg white can interfere with a B vitamin cat's need for healthy skin and a glossy coat. Cooked plain and portioned, though, an egg is actually one of the better bites you could hand him. So the rule isn't never share. The rule is share plain and know exactly what's on the fork. If you're ever unsure whether something is safe for your particular cat, a quick check with your vet beats guessing every time. And knowing what's safe on the fork is only half of it. The other half is just as easy to get wrong, and it has nothing to do with what's actually on the plate. That's next. 4. The real danger isn't the food, it's the math. So if plain chicken and cooked egg are actually fine, what's the catch? The amount. That's the whole answer. A cat runs his entire day on a surprisingly small number of calories. A few extra bites that feel like nothing on your plate can quietly eat up a big slice of what he's allowed in a day. And the more that happens, the more his balanced food, the one built to give him everything he needs, gets crowded out. This is especially true for cats that live indoors, where every calorie in has to be earned through a much smaller world of movement. Vets generally recommend keeping treats and extras to a small slice of a cat's daily food, so the good stuff never quietly turns into too much of a good thing. So the fix isn't complicated. Keep the shared bites small, keep them occasional, and let his main meals do the heavy lifting they're actually designed for. There's still more to this than portion size, though. Where the food actually comes from matters just as much as how much of it there is, and that one might surprise you even more. 5. Where you feed him changes what he believes about you. Have you ever noticed he doesn't guard his own bowl the same way he guards a spot at your plate? That's not about the food being better on your plate. It's about where the food comes from and what that place means to him. Behaviorists who study the human-animal bond have long pointed out that predictable, calm sources of care are experienced as safer than unpredictable ones across almost every companion species. Your plate, at random moments, tied to whether he cried loud enough, is the opposite of predictable. His bowl, offered on your terms, at a time he can count on, is exactly what predictable looks like. So what to do instead is almost too simple to believe. Move the good stuff back to his spot. Same bowl, same corner, offered calmly, tied to a good moment instead of a loud one. A reward, not a ransom. That one shift changes more than mealtime. It sets up the very last piece of this, what he's actually learning about you every single time you feed him. 6. This was never really about the plate. It's about what he's learning to expect from you. So here's where it all comes together. A cat who gets fed from your plate at random, whenever he cries loud enough, learns something about you without meaning to. He learns you're unpredictable, not unkind, unpredictable. Something to work, not something to trust. A cat who gets the same good food, offered calmly, from his own spot, on your schedule instead of his demands, learns something completely different. He learns you're steady. He learns he doesn't have to perform to be taken care of. That's the real fork in the road hiding inside this whole habit. One version makes you a vending machine he has to work. The other makes you the safe, steady thing his whole small world quietly organizes itself around. And that's the part almost nobody tells you when they talk about cats and food. It was never really about what's on the plate. It's about what he's learning every time you decide how to hand it over. So the next time he shows up at your plate, you'll know what's actually happening. Not hunger, not stubbornness, a pattern built together that you can rebuild together too. One calm, predictable bowl at a time.